Backlash 2016 is in the books, and it was real good. I'm just going to tell you, it was real good. AJ Styles is the new WWE champion. We got a new tag team champion, a new women's champion. Check out the results. Let's start off talking about the pre-show, which was pretty decent, as a matter of fact. Even before the matches in the ring, Heath Slater and Rhino are just they just got something. Basically, the WWE universe is way behind Heath Slater, and I gotta agree. I mean, the dude is right there. You got to be deaf not to hear how much they're with them. His charisma is great, and their act overall is very funny. So they did a really good job on the social media lounge. I actually laughed out loud for real, not just typed the word the three letters LOL. It was pretty entertaining. So I love that part. But when we actually got to the matches, we had Baron Corbin against Apollo Crews, and these two young guys put on a really solid pre-show match. Both of them got a chance to show off their athleticism and their impressive movesets. There was a ton of huge moves and 2.5 counts. Apollo hit the backflip splash, and Corbin had the spinning back slam, but neither of those ended up being the finishing maneuver. Crews, outside of the ring, he picked up Corbin as if he was going to do a front slam, but then hoisted him up on his shoulders and did the Samoan drop outside the ring. Baron Corbin's a humongous dude, so that was really impressive strength. But Corbin would get the victory after he pulled off a counter that led to the end of days. So, man, for where this appeared on the card, I couldn't see a way that it could have actually been better than it was. I'm hoping that actually becomes a feud. The next match was the 6-pack Women's Championship for the first ever SmackDown Women's title, and it was really good. And y'all who follow my recaps are probably surprised and shocked that I just said that, but it was really good. I don't even think I'm going to be a prisoner of the moment by making this statement. I know y'all going to probably say something because that's just what people do. But I think this was the best multi-superstar female match I've ever seen. So basically, a match with 3 or more people in it. That's what I mean by multi-superstar. You don't see a lot of those from the women's or back with the Divas division. You don't see a lot of them, period. But I have seen some, and all of them have been horrible. This one was really good. I thought about this for a while before I made that claim, but I couldn't come up with another one that was better or on par with this one. There was so many great spots, high-risk maneuvers, all types of, they sold well, good body language. There was only one botch. Now, it's hard-pressed to see a women's match between 2 people that has just one botch. This one had one botch, and it had 6 of them in there. It was Naomi trying to do, it was a pretty difficult move. She's trying to do like a, I don't even know what you want to call it, like a Hurricane Rana from outside of the ring to bring Natalya in outside of the ring too. It was weird, but it didn't work anyway, and then they had to do it like twice, so that kind of sucked. But with 6 superstars in the ring, it's difficult not to have more than one botch. Out of all of the good moves, though, I thought the best move of the night was Naomi's top rope blockbuster on Alexa Bliss as Natalya had her in position for a power bomb off the top rope. Yeah, this was a women's match. It was crazy. Alexa got eliminated on that move. Naomi would get eliminated next after Nikki hit her with a forearm as Naomi was trying to do a springboard move. She had already did a springboard outside the ring on top of the other 5. Crazy. Natty then would go down next, and then Nikki was eliminated next after she kind of got ambushed by Carmella with a roll-up. So that was kind of a weak pin. Becky would get the title as she countered an attack from Carmella to put her in a disarmor. I thought some of the last eliminations could have been better, and I was also a little bit disappointed in they actually had the ladies in there doing real wrestling moves for the whole match. Then when you get down to the last 2, then they start almost catfight slapping. And that was just ridiculous and a waste. I'm like, if you're going to actually have them wrestle. Don't revert back to that. It was kind of crazy. But overall, the match was still really good. In between, we had Bray attack Randy Orton backstage, which turned out to be a really big angle for this particular show. He just kept slamming and ran his leg in the door. Sometimes I guess you got to do that. Next match was the Usos against the Hype Brothers, because they were given a second chance to the Usos because American Alpha was injured. So the Usos injured Chad Gable, and so that they took the last two teams that had lost in the semifinals and gave them a chance to fight Slater and Rhino for the title. The Usos, they got the heel thing down. Their attire has totally changed. Their physical dispositions changed. They walked out kind of slow. No face paint, no tribal routine at the beginning, none of that. And they were really good in the ring for the whole match, which is no surprise because they're always good. The Hype Brothers were good in the ring too, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to be real hard to keep Mojo Rawley from out of the singles division, because dude is crazy strong, crazy athletic. He's got a good gimmick too, so we'll see. But the Usos used the same method to beat the Hype Brothers. They tried to injure Zack Ryder's leg, and ultimately Jimmy got the submission with the single leg crab after they stomped on the back of his leg. So it was kind of cool. The Usos got their second chance to compete in the tournament, and so they face Slater and Rhino later on to become the SmackDown champions. Next, we saw a little clip of The Miz insulting Daniel Bryan backstage. Just walked up to him and just started saying real mean stuff. You shouldn't do that to people. It's not nice. He told him, you mad because I can do what you can't do. You short, you stupid, your breath stank. He didn't really say that. That's just kind of what I was thinking. Maybe it might be the truth, but it's not really. Anyway, it was not anything really special. It was kind of a waste of time, to be honest. Next up, The Miz against Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. This was another good match. The Miz retained the IC title, but like I said, it was entertaining. He had the edge most of the match, but Ziggler, Ziggler takes a beating as good as anybody in the WWE. I mean, he makes it look super dramatic. Every time he gets hit, it's like he got shot with a cannon filled with bricks. But hey, that's what he's supposed to do. He did have a few moments. He hit like the famous sir. He had the patented drop kick, a prolonged sleeper hold. But The Miz was the boss most of the match. He emulated Daniel Bryan with his successive corner drop kicks, and then he even did the no chant. But Ziggler was starting to rally, but Maurice sprayed something in Ziggler's eyes to help set up the skull-crushing finale from The Miz, and he got the pinfall win. So expect something crazy to come from Ziggler on Tuesday. He's probably going to turn heel or something, because he's been hinting that he's going to do something different, and all that. So that's usually what that means. He'll probably come out slap a child or something. Probably not, but, that would definitely turn you heel, wouldn't it? Bray Wyatt defeated Kane in the no-holds-barred match. Orton was, quote-unquote, unable to compete after his run-in with Wyatt earlier in the evening. And Wyatt then insisted that the referee give the 10 count to kind of, consummate his victory. As he was about to exit the ring announcer said, no. You will be competing in a no-holds-barred match against a mystery opponent. So I'm yelling out, Luke Harper, everybody, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm yelling out all these names. And here come Geriatric Kane. I'm like, man, why do y'all keep dusting off Kane every time y'all need something? I don't get it. So, and I've been begging for a meaningful and kind of something that makes some sense for Bray Wyatt, and putting him back in there with Kane didn't make sense, right? But all that I just said that, right? The match was actually still pretty good. It was no holds barred, and it had the types of spots that you want to see in a no disqualification match. And like most of the other matches on the card, it had really good length. So Wyatt, he was kind of taunting Kane with a lot of different stuff, but the best one, he taunted him as he had him laying on top of the announcer's table, and he did the Randy Orton signature pose, which I thought was kind of cool. And then right after that, he did a running senton to put Kane through the table, and that got chants and all that kind of stuff. It was great. Then they go back into the ring. Wyatt still had the upper hand, but Orton appears at the top of the ramp. Dun, 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 dun. No, it didn't have any music. I made it. I made it up. Okay, he limped down to the ring with a heavily bandaged right leg, and then Orton finally got to the ring. It took him a long time. It was like waiting on somebody, who didn't have any legs to get down there. But he had one good leg. I think he oversold that a little bit. But he hit them with the RKO and then slithered out of the ring, leaving Wyatt just straight knocked out Cole or whatever for Kane. And Kane didn't really need to do a choke slam, but he did it anyway to get the pin, and Orton exited with a hood over his head, trying to look cool. And, obviously that feud isn't over. We'll see what happens going from there. Next up, we had the Tag Team Championship match. Heath Slater and Rhino defeated the Usos, and Slater has a contract, baby! I've been trying to say that the way he says it, but it ain't working out. But SmackDown roster is really getting a great opportunity now because these matches are running long on these pay-per-views, and it's because they don't have as big of a roster, so they have to fill up the spots, and that is making for some really good matches. The Usos, they're now calling them like the king of the double teams. That's first I heard of that. But they were beating the devil out of Heath Slater. They did a double suplex into the ring post. I don't even know what that was about. I don't even know what part of the body that was supposed to hurt, but it looked weird. They were, like I said, they were tearing him up. But Rhino got the hot tag to kind of get some momentum back for the team. But he ultimately ends up getting double teamed. Heath Slater jumps back into the ring to try to rescue everything. He did a couple really cool neck breakers. But then he gets hit with the super kick by Jimmy. Now it's time for Rhino to come back in. He jumps in and hits a gore on Jimmy, but he's not the legal man. So everybody's yelling, Keith Slater, cover him, get your double wide, the whole nine. He rolls over, covers him, and they are the the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and Heath Slater has the contract. Honestly, that was a really well executed program for Slater. It had a good start, a middle, an end. It ended right with the whole contract chase. It was good. Now the challenge is, what do you do with them from here? Because they tend to mess up with folk after a while. So we'll see what happens. But it was good. This stuff was pretty good. On to the main event. In the final match, we saw AJ Styles become the WWE Heavyweight Champion. That is crazy, and it was only fitting that what I think was the best worked, that's a key word, the best worked pay-per-view of the year from top to bottom. It's only fitting that it end in a super exciting match, and that's exactly what we saw. This had tons of just crazy moves. The springboard 450 splash by Styles. Then there was the Dean Ambrose tried to hit Styles with a superplex off the top rope. Styles flips out of it halfway, almost like he killed himself doing it. Crazy. Oh my God. Exploder drop kicks outside the ring, suicide dives. We had table runs. We had it all in this match. I'm convinced it's just impossible for AJ Styles to work a bad match, though. I think like he and I could probably have a good match. I think I might be able to take it. I think I got a new finisher move I've been really wanting to show y'all. It's called the flying, I'm gonna slap you if you get in my way. It's very deadly. I have always gotten a 3 count on it. But this match was great. This match was off the chain. The pay-per-view itself was crazy good. Don't let anybody tell you any different. If you like pure wrestling, just awesome in-ring stuff, this is the type of pay-per-view you want to show somebody and say, hey, this is the way it's supposed to be. I dug it. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all probably hated it, but it's all good. I appreciate you watching nonetheless. God bless.